Hello, everyone. It says we're live.
Mhm.
I realize I forgot to do something quick on my end. So if I look like I am on YouTube Studio, it is because I am. While I do that, though, do you want to introduce yourself? And I also just want to say we are going to be doing non-spoilers first. And then going into a spoiler section. So if you haven't read Near the Bone, no worries. You are welcome to stay for as long as you want. Anyway, if you want to
Okay,
introduce yourself.
sure. Hi, I'm Jessie. My channel is Reading with Jess. Over there, I typically read mostly thrillers, a little bit of horror, a little bit of romance, but mostly thrillers. Um, yeah, I am so happy to be on here, especially since you were on my book club live show. I
Yeah.
feel like we've really connected over the past year and a half, and everything. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
like so I don't know. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
Of course. Thank you for being on. And also, last year, I feel like around this time, I did a vlog reading some of your favorite
Oh
books.
yeah, I
I
forgot
really
about
think it was like right
yeah.
during January or December. I remember doing
Mhm.
that. And I read
Yeah,
You, Behind Closed
very
Doors, and I think Verity.
yeah.
No, I did. It's hard to remember because I
Mhm.
started reading them at my parents' house and then I went home back to my house. But
Yeah.
yeah, so thank you so much. Okay, let me catch up on the comments. Sorry, y'all. I was telling her that I usually read books more spread out, but always for my book clubs, I read them like really fast. And today it's felt so weird because I'm off work and I've been constantly going with the holidays. And so this was my first
Mhm.
day like off work and I was just consuming this book.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know. So I am coming back to reality. Hi, Deja. Hi. I didn't read the book. That's okay. You are very welcome here still. I love that people who don't read the book still show up. I love
Right.
it. Kim, did you read it? Hey, I just read your review on Goodreads, Deja, for the book. Yeah, I read it. Finished it this morning. Finished it like a couple hours ago.
I know
Hey, Gabby.
you
Oh,
said you were
sorry,
going
go
to
ahead.
start it last night, and I was like, oh, okay.
I started it. Yeah, no, I started it last night at like freaking midnight or something. Maybe not midnight, but it was late because I was visiting with family. And then I texted her. I was like, I'm starting it now. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
um, Hi, Gabby. I know you raved about this book. That's part of the
Mhm.
reason why we read it. So thanks for coming.
Mhm.
Hi, I'm new to this channel, but I love this book. Hi, well, welcome. I'm
Welcome.
distracted by my hair. I apologize. I started blow drying my hair and it's like everywhere. Um, I'm not used to this. Hi, I forgot about this until I saw your Instagram story today and started the book. I'm only 76% into the book, so I'll stay
Okay.
until it's time for spoilers. Well,
Nice.
I'm glad you saw my story and it made you want to read it. Not my review. I was looking at all of my friends' reviews on it and I was like, time to see what they thought. Yes, this book is so great. Read it twice this year. I feel like this is one of those books that, and we can talk about this in a minute,
Mhm.
but it's very rereadable
Oh yeah.
because to me, it almost felt like a screenplay or a movie, just in the same way that No Exit did.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it gave me like no exit vibes. It was very, I don't know, it made you want to keep reading, and I can totally see me rereading this.
Yeah, it could be like a yearly thing
Hmm.
around this time. Really enjoyed this book, finished reading it a couple days ago. I'm glad you liked it. OMG, yeah, I really wanted to pick this up originally because of Gabby, and then you made it your book club book. So I was like, this is perfect. Yes. It was perfect timing too, because we got snow literally the day after I started reading it. So it was perfect. Or no, the day before I started reading it. I read Rock, Paper, Scissors as well.
Ooh,
And
nice.
that's the one where I read two books very close together. Um
Same
I read
setting.
this a while. What?
Same like wintry setting too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. If I read a ton of books, they all start kind of merging together if there's similarities in them. Does that happen to you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially when it's
Okay.
the same genre too, it could definitely do that.
Mhm. 'Cause I read a lot of thrillers and horror books, like, that's pretty much all I read, and
Mhm.
so you really start to see when authors are being repetitive or, like, not original, even though I know all books can't be fully original
Mhm.
because that's impossible,
Yeah.
um, but yeah. I'm staying for spoilers even though I didn't read it. I was afraid to read it because of the domestic violence. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really hard to read about.
Yeah.
That is hard for me to read about. Yeah. Yes, I've been thinking about No Exit too. It seriously reminded me so much of No Exit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Only I do have to say I like No Exit better, to be honest.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, but I really we'll talk in a second about it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really excited about this book because it's probably my favorite book I've chosen for the book club so far. I
Mhm.
really liked it a lot. OMG, that's so exciting. You finally got snow. I know. I was looking at everybody's stories and I was getting so jealous because it was Christmas and like all of the snow. And I was sitting here my first year back in Wisconsin with no snow. It was very weird, but I got it finally. I was reading Stolen Tongues, finishing Rock, Paper, Scissors, and sped through this one, kind of overstuck on a mountain in a snowstorm. Oh no. I get that though. Um, in North Carolina, we usually get snow every year, even though it's like not real snow. But we haven't the past 2 winters. Global warming. I know.
Yeah.
That stresses me out, low key.
Mhm. Yeah. We typically here in Virginia, we get it's always on, like, Valentine's Day is when we get, like, our biggest snow. So
Really.
mhm.
It's kind of cozy and cute, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
Not if you have Valentine's Day plans.
yeah, if you're like me and like staying in, then it's
Um,
good, but
I mean, I prefer that anyway, so
do you think everybody this is off topic, but do you think most people in the booktube community are introverts?
Um, I
Like
believe they
introverted
are.
extroverts?
I believe they are at heart, but then
Mhm.
they have to put themselves out there because 'cause they're on, camera and live for everyone to watch. So, internally, I feel like they're introverts. I mean, I am too, but I want to be an extrovert. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because I agree with you. I think I used to think I was more extroverted than I
Mhm.
realized I'm not as extroverted as I thought I was. I really love connecting with people, but I
Mhm.
think I get overwhelmed in groups. So
Oh,
that's like
yeah.
a big thing. And
Mhm.
then yeah, I don't know, I just thought of that. I feel like a lot of us are introverts and cuz when I said I like staying in, I
Mm.
do like doing things, but staying in is cozy and
Oh,
reading a
yeah.
book.
And I feel
Love
like the
it.
older I get, I'm like that as well. I'm like, "Ew, do I really wanna go out?"
I
Mm,
know. My going out these days is like going to Target and
yeah.
that's fun for me.
Well, it's Target.
It's
Everyone
Target
loves
is
Target.
literally amazing. I just joined Gabby's Patreon, excited about that. Oh, I saw that, and the different tiers were so cute, the names for
Yeah.
them.
The
They
logo or
were
the icons and pictures were really pretty. I think Gabby's sister did them, right?
if
Maybe.
she's here, she can confirm. I think so. Her sister's really, really good at
Mhm.
artistic stuff for
Yeah.
sure. Oof, I'm a mess. I'm throwing my water bottle. I will say, I will talk about the book, don't worry, but isn't this sticker really cool?
Oh, that's so cool.
It's, my coworker at my coffee
Mhm.
shop, paints or draws. She does both, and she
Oh,
did this, so anyway,
I wish I can
um,
draw and all that other stuff. I have, like, no artistic bone.
I know, same. I could not do that. My handwriting's not even great. It's very sad. Here in Michigan, we get all the snow. I'm originally from Florida, so I hate snow.
Same.
Oh,
I mean, hating the snow.
yeah. OMG, thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, she did. She's amazing.
Okay, cool.
Um, Sab and Jess should do a Patreon. Oh,
No.
I think I'm gonna wait a while.
Yeah, same. I feel
But
like a
I
lot of people are
appreciate it.
doing that, and I'm like, "Oh, I feel weird not having a Patreon," but I'm like, I'm not ready for that."
Yeah, I totally somebody said that to me once too, and I was like, "I don't know." I mean, I'll wait until my channel grows a little bit more. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, this comment.
same.
I have no artistic bone literally is a whole violin. I don't know if people know. Do people know this about me that I got a degree in violin performance?
I knew you
Do I?
played.
Yeah, my I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in violin performance.
Oh,
So
wow.
yes, I am musically artistic, but not like art like drawing. I can't draw. I can play, but I can play the violin, but can't draw. Maybe one day I'll put something of me playing on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
good.
I'm not sure if it would be interesting because I play classical music, not like pop covers, and I feel like that's more of what people want to hear.
Mhm.
But I don't know, maybe one of these days.
You should totally do it.
I knew that because I'm an OG. You are an OG. Okay, so let's talk about the book.
Okay.
Um, let's do non-spoilers so people know that they'll be safe here. So I want to know what you rated the book and kind of what you liked and didn't like if you didn't like something. Like, what are some general thoughts from you?
Um, okay. So I'm debating between a 4 and a 4.5.
Mhm.
And I think I know the reason why it's not a 5 star is kind of a spoiler, so I'll get to that later. I loved the atmosphere. I loved
Mhm.
the isolated setting of being in a cabin on top of a mountain. That's kind of scary, not being near other people.
Mhm.
Um, Although it is dark with the domestic violence, I don't want to say I liked that, but going into the book not knowing what is really out there as far as like a monster, but also there's like a monster like in broad daylight sleeping in the same house as you type of thing. Like I liked the concept of that, nor I wouldn't want to wish that violence on anyone. Um,
Right. You liked it in story form for a good story. Yeah.
yeah, like building that sympathy for our main character and like really seeing especially the backstory I thought was really interesting of like where she got to this place was really interesting. Things I didn't like, I don't know. I really liked this book for
I know, yeah.
um I mean there's one thing I just didn't like, but it's a spoiler, so I don't really want to give it away. But I
Yeah, I'm
pretty
wondering
much
if
loved
it's
everything about it.
yeah, I'm wondering if it's the same thing that I'm thinking of. It was something that felt very random. Maybe okay, it's probably different.
Okay.
We can go into it later, but
Mhm.
yeah, so between a 4 and a 4.5.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, honestly. I really, really liked the atmosphere. I loved actually, I'm not usually a creature feature kind of
Mhm.
person, but I loved it because you never even fully see
Yeah.
the monster.
I think
Um,
that's actually why I don't. That's like my like half
oh,
star.
really?
Yeah, like it gave me like that bird box effect.
Which I love, but
Yeah.
did you not like Bird Box very much?
I just want to know what it looks like.
Okay, yeah. I get that. For me, it's always the fear of the unknown that's
Yeah.
scarier for me than the actual
Yeah.
unless it's like a human that's
Mhm.
horrible because obviously,
Yeah.
it's different, but yeah, for me, if something's revealed too soon or there's like too much
Oh yeah.
explanation
Mhm.
about what the thing is, it kind of takes me out of it. Like it feels a little bit less realistic. Um, yeah, but I really like that about it. And like you said, I liked how there was both a human villain who was like very evil and then also someone or something out there as well. Um, and I don't think this is really a spoiler, but I'm glad that it wasn't just the two characters the whole time. I actually thought it would be the whole time two characters, and I was kind of like, how is this gonna play out with just like, you know, her and her husband, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else did I thought there was some really good like gory imagery, I guess, where it wasn't over the top, but like when it happened, it was disturbing and impactful. Sometimes if it's like too much, it's almost I don't want to say like laughable, but it feels a little campy. But I like the amount of it was just like small things happening. What else did I like? Yeah, I really, really love the atmosphere. And I went on a walk today and it was snowy and it was actually snowing as I was listening to it, which is really cool. So yeah, and I like the writing style too, how
Oh,
you
yeah.
get the flashbacks.
Mhm.
I am a big sucker for flashbacks. I'm trying to find where I left off. Hey, thanks for joining. Nice seeing you. Original. Yeah, for sure. I love that. Carol. I gave it 3.5 stars. I really love the domestic abuse themes and a parallel to the horrifying acts of the monster. I felt a weird disconnect, and I don't know why. A weird disconnect from
The main character?
yeah, I don't know. Let's maybe Deja. Oh, in a second, maybe she goes more into it. Hey, Kim. Most of the middle, I honestly felt like it was just really repetitive, and I wish it was more fast paced, like they were in the house for hella long. Yeah, actually, I do get that point. Like they were in the house longer, and we can go more into that when we go into spoilers. Um, I really liked it. 4 to 4.5 stars. Thought she wrote the DV. Is that the development?
Domestic violence?
Oh, sorry.
That's what I'm thinking.
I was like, the development of the story? The domestic violence well and made me feel for the main character. Yeah. I gave it 4 stars. That's good. I'm seeing a theme. 5 stars? Ooh, we love that. I wanted her to leave that horrible husband and just run away with the monster because he was so horrible. Yeah, I know. I also understand that the author chose to make the narrator naive and unreliable because of the domestic abuse, and it was for a purpose, but I think the narrator's voice impacted my enjoyment. I saw that in somebody else's comment as well. They were saying not to be the person hating on the person abused, but they seem very whiny. And I wouldn't go that far. I definitely wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But I know that you're not alone in feeling like
Mhm.
the way the narrator was thinking was a little bit naive. That didn't bother me personally, but did that bother you at all?
No, and I also think because she's been through that for what was it, like 8 or 10 years or something?
Yeah, like 10
It's
years, I think.
it's almost like being scared to leave the abusive husband was worse than like staying where she's at and kept getting abused in a way.
It's sort of like Stockholm syndrome
Yeah, I was
in
thinking
a
that too.
that, but also just yeah, like victims of abuse are very
Mhm.
it's complicated,
Yeah.
you know, unless you're in their position. Um Same here, Deja. I gave it 4 stars because of the repetition, and the ending was more campy than scary. Did you feel like that too, or no?
I can see where it was campy, but like I don't think
I
it
liked it.
negatively I mean, I
I
see
loved
campy
it.
vibes, but I don't think it negatively affected me at all.
For
But
me, I like when it's cheesy or campy, I guess. Like it wasn't even really
yeah,
cheesy, but I'm jealous that you have snow.
I'm
I
not.
was jealous of everybody else before, and now I have it. Um, I plan on reading it in January. Can't wait. I feel like you'll really like it.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody here has said they at least gave it a 4 star. Oh, well, Deja said 3.5, but that's not like a bad star rating.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Though I don't want to hate her because sis went through a lot. Yeah. And normally naive voices don't bother me, but hers did a little. It wasn't the Stockholm bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was really stuck with not having her own money and being away from society. Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think if there's any non-spoilers that we can talk about before we go on. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
I didn't know, I don't know how to say it, but I didn't know that the whatever that long crazy word is of like looking for like mythical creatures like Sasquatch. I didn't know that was actually a thing. So I thought that
Oh
was
yeah. I liked it, and it's so funny because my dad, he doesn't actually believe in Sasquatch or Bigfoot or whatever, but
Mhm,
he always watches these like documentaries on them, and he
mhm,
like loves seeing people who are super into it, who go
mhm.
on these little like expeditions and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if like the way, I guess it is real. It's because usually when I hear about that, it's just like people who aren't really in science and they're just going
Yeah.
for fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, this word cryptozoology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, it was more like she was like, "OMG, a phone, that's crazy. I forgot what a phone is. My mom had a landline." And then we go on for 3 paragraphs about phone. And I'm like, "I
Oh,
got it."
I get you now.
Yeah, a little bit of the Stephen King, even
Yeah.
though that didn't bother me, but I could see where you're coming from. Everyone's like,
Yeah. Get
"Cryptozoology."
it down. Cryptozoologist.
I didn't remember that word. Um,
I know it was
did
like
you
crypt something. So
I know. And zoologist makes sense because
yeah.
animals. I think we can probably go into spoilers. Yeah, just like if you're sensitive to domestic abuse, like definitely if you haven't read it, be careful with this one because it was really grim to read about and
Yeah.
disturbing.
And it
So,
happens pretty early on too.
yeah, I felt like a lot of it was like early on
Mhm.
and it was focused a ton on. Normally, stories about abusive, toxic relationships, I normally really love too. I have like 3 to 4 in my top books of the year. Something about this one just, again, disconnected with me.
Hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, spoilers. Let's see what time it is. Okay, yeah, we're in spoiler territory. All right, so what were you holding back earlier why it wasn't a 5 star?
I just really kind of wished I knew what the monster looked like, or
Mhm.
monsters, I should say, because apparently there was more than one. Um,
Yeah.
I liked, I just think like not knowing what it looks like during the story is great, but I kind of wish I knew more details about what it looks like towards the end when I guess like everything's
Yeah.
down.
I almost, was surprised that we didn't see that
Yeah.
all we saw were the eyes. I thought
Mhm.
it was so creepy though, like how she could just feel it watching, but she
Mhm.
couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Like just every time it was around, she was like, "I just know it's here." And
Yeah.
also how she said it only is heard when it wants to be heard. So it
Mhm.
made it out to be really smart,
Mhm.
and really interesting how it only, got the prey when they were injured or whatever.
Yeah.
So I liked that about it.
Mhm.
It almost gave me like a Jurassic Park vibe, like at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, like in the car, and
Yeah.
she can like see it. But again, I liked it, but I could
Mhm.
see where people would want to
Yeah.
see it. Um, yes, he
Yes.
does. Thank God.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was like, if this man doesn't die, then I don't
Mhm.
know how to cope.
And, like,
Um,
I think the husband added a lot to the story, but also, like, his,
yeah.
like, religious type of mentality on everything was I don't know, I felt like it was, like, semi-cultish even though it's only 2 people, but, like, I was getting those type
Yeah.
of vibes with it.
Yeah, so I wrote some notes here and I said this is very like Handmaid's Tale vibes.
Yes.
Like very much um very
'Cause
messed up,
yeah,
very it was like spiritually manipulative
yeah, because
because
she
she
was like
almost felt like she had to because it was like God was
yeah,
like wanted her to act this way instead of just her husband.
mhm, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't were you
No,
saying
no, no.
something?
No, no, no. I definitely like he always kept saying like a man's gotta have sons and stuff like that. And I was like, man,
Mhm.
I hope she doesn't like end up pregnant with like a girl or something like that. Cause then I know she'll be like really bad. And like there's also like triggers for like losing a baby as well. Cause she
Mhm.
did have was it 2 miscarriages? Yeah.
I think a couple.
Yeah.
I
Like,
was just listening to it on an audiobook, and
mhm,
sometimes when I just listen, I miss a little bit of the stuff.
mhm.
I
Yeah, I
prefer
think she
having
had
the
2.
physical book too.
Yeah.
Yeah, too, I think.
Mhm,
Yeah, there's a lot of triggers in this one for
mhm.
sure. Um, sweet. Yeah. I thought that scene was really good too, how it played out, and I really imagined it in my head.
Mhm,
Just everything about that scene, how she, like, got in his blind spot
mhm,
and almost, like, hunted him. It was
mhm.
almost like a parallel between her and the monster
Yeah.
and the monster, you know? You know, I'm glad they did it that way because part of me actually thought that it would be like the monster what was his name again? I just read it.
William?
Yeah, William. I kinda
Mhm,
thought that William and the monster and her or, like and the other characters would all be in, like, one scene together at
mhm,
the end, and it would have been, like, them all fighting each other, but
mhm.
I liked how she kind of killed, um, William without the monster being involved in that
Yeah.
scene. I thought it was more effective and
Mhm. It
better
had, like, more of an
revenge.
impact that she did it too.
Mhm.
It's like her, like, actually conquering, I guess, the bigger monster, like, internally, so
Right, and also, I felt like the ending made it almost like, you don't hate the monster because it was just protecting her
yeah, yeah,
child. Did you feel like that? Where you're like,
yeah.
didn't
It
because
felt
at
like
first I was like, "It's so horrible," but then I kinda like they did that at the end.
yeah, it kind of felt like the monster wasn't really after Maddie, it was more of just, like, protecting its, like, territory and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It never once felt like it was after Maddie. I mean, maybe in the scene where she's, like, locked in the outhouse, but
Right.
it never, like, barged or, like, tore down the building or anything.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. The more y'all are talking about it, the more I'm also thinking maybe this book also is a little bit all over the place, which might have been part of the disconnect. Yeah, actually, I do see in that way the thing I was talking about earlier was how he had, like, heroin in his trunk.
Oh, yeah.
I found that kind of, like,
Random?
weird. Yeah, like, very random. Because I was like, "Well, maybe this plays into it because the heroin's there, and then that's why he has the money, and then we're gonna, like, see her get away with the money and, like, utilize the money." But
Mhm.
the way it ended almost was, like, kind of confusing for me, like, why
Mhm.
that was brought into it.
Yeah.
I don't know, did you see it having a purpose in the story?
I didn't. Like, when it was revealed, I was like, "Oh," I mean, it makes sense that's how he makes money and how he's able
Mhm.
to bring things up to the mountain, but, like, it was kind of random. Like,
Right.
it would kind of been better not to know how he was making this money, but, like, I don't know. Like, it made sense, but, like, it also didn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was kind of out of nowhere for me. It
Yeah.
was like No Exit, The Handmaid's Tale, Jurassic Park, A Creature Feature, the whole cryptozoology plotline.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, for sure. It tried to
Mhm.
yes, that's giving me, like, the TV show In the Dark, too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I think it may have been Wait, sorry. I think it may have been, like, too many things for me at once, and I just didn't realize. This is why I love discussions because I always figure out more about my own feelings. Yeah, that is true. I always feel like
Mhm.
I'm gonna change my rating after I discuss it with people. The females win in the story. She gets away from her husband, and the monster protects her offspring and territory. Yeah, I love
Mhm.
that. I love that. Um, hey, everyone. Hello. Thanks for joining. What else did I write? I somebody said earlier, I can't remember who it was, but how they were in the cabin a long time. Did you
Yeah.
feel like that part dragged? Was that the kind of
I
dragging portion
feel
of it or
I feel like when William was locked out and they were, I guess that night, I do feel like that kinda, like, dragged a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like I was, like, kinda catching myself, like, getting more distracted as I was, like, listening to the audiobook, but I can see that might be another reason why I didn't give it a 5 star because I do remember that scene being, like, not grabbing my attention as much.
Yeah, and for me, sometimes when I read something on audiobook when I'm not physically reading it, it's easier for my attention to, like, stray
Wander.
away a little
Mhm.
bit. I'm trying to think about the sections that really stood out to me, though. I really like the action scenes in it. I
Yeah.
really love that, and then I was very, very interested in the kidnapping sections, like, piecing
Mhm.
it together, how exactly it happened. I
Mhm.
think maybe what Deja is also saying is kind of her repetitive thoughts sometimes about, like, the
Yeah.
present time were
Yeah.
the things that weren't as interesting to me.
Right.
Um
I also loved the cave scene when they're talking about,
Oh my
like, the
gosh.
smell and how it was, like, the body p or, like, the organs and, like, the bones were, like, separated. I was like, "Ooh, this
Mhm.
is so creepy."
I love that setting too, and I was hoping that they would have gone there instead of the, house.
Yeah.
But I did really think it was intense, where you kept hearing, like, the limping of
The thump,
Hi
drag, thump.
William, yeah, 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 and, like, how he was coming up and how that was super intense. I thought this
Mhm.
author did a really good job with the really tense scenes.
Mhm.
I was definitely they grabbed my attention, and I had to listen in those parts.
Mhm.
Um, I'm reading The Arrangement by Kirsten Moglen. Love that one.
That
I
is
love that book. Hey, y'all. Hi. Thanks for joining. Have you read it? The
Mhm.
Arrangement? Yes, I have. I think I read it because of you. I think
Oh,
you were talking very highly of it,
yeah.
right? You really
It's on
liked
my
it.
favorites list, and it's so good, and I just saw a couple days ago, it's getting a sequel.
I know. I just noticed that the other day because I was looking at my Goodreads and what I read, and I read The Arrangement, and then right after that, I read The Reunion, and I like The Reunion even better.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I was like, I need to read more.
I just ordered The Reunion. It should be here tomorrow, I think.
I think you're gonna love it. I hope so. It's
I
one of those that really worked for me. I just it was the setting was so good, the
Mhm.
atmosphere, the whole, like, college reunion or high school in that book, it's high school reunion, and
Mhm.
it's, like, people from your past and, like, these memories are surfacing and then kind of getting, like, flashbacks to the
Mhm.
mystery. So good, it was so good. There's also kind of like a love triangle, which I'm usually not into, but I was into it in this book, and yeah, it was really good. I didn't read the book, but I wanted to stop by and say hi.
Aw.
Hi, well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hey Gwen. Hey. Not a scary one at all, but I
Mhm.
love the grilled cheese scene. Yeah.
Yes, that was so cute. And the fact that, like, he made them for her,
Mhm.
just she was, brought up to be like women serve the men type of thing. I thought that was so sweet.
It was so sweet, and also just seeing how he was, like, a really good guy
Mhm.
and kind of being like, "Okay, that like, you were treated horribly, and
Mhm.
there's horrible men like this, but there is still good in the world." I don't know.
Right.
I like that and how she was like, "Whoa, there is." Um, Also, sometimes, like, I love food so much that I almost cry, so I was like, if I hadn't eaten something like my favorite food or whatever in, like, 10
Mhm.
years, can't even imagine.
Oh, yeah.
I love this book so much. I saw your review too. It's awesome, everybody in the chat, I've seen their review. Geo, that one scene caught me off guard. Which one scene? Do you
Yeah.
know?
Mm-mm.
Please share. Haven't seen you in a hot sec, Geo. I know. Deja, I've been lurking. We love a lurker.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes a lurker. I'm kind of done with domestic thriller. They all started around the same time. The wife, the husband, things going bad. He is a psycho. Got it. What do you all think? I'm not sure I would consider this one fully a domestic thriller.
No.
I don't think I would even group it in with that just because that's not like the forefront of it. Like it's
Mhm.
not because usually in domestic thrillers, it's like both of them have secrets and then like the wife is doing this and then the husband's doing this, and it's like they're almost both evil, or even if you're rooting for one, like one is still doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas like, you know, Maddie didn't do, or Samantha, I guess, didn't do anything wrong. You know, she's just like a victim to her circumstance. So
Right.
is that how you feel too?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Spoiler, that guy getting taken out by the creature, I thought he's gonna live. Oh, yeah.
What was his name?
I don't know any of the names.
Was it Griffin?
I think so. That's another thing with me. When I don't see names like written down, I'm not going to remember them. Like if I'm listening to an audiobook, it's harder for me to remember names.
CP
Griffin, I think that's right. I was surprised that he was the first one to get taken out.
Yeah, because he was the one that found her initially.
Yeah.
So I thought like he was going to be the one at the end.
Yeah, and he was almost responsible for. Did you ever think there would be like a romance aspect?
I was hoping there wouldn't be, because I was like, I feel like that would just be too much, especially I was thinking like if they're eventually going to get out, it's going to be within like a day or two maybe. So I don't see how a romance in these circumstances could actually naturally happen. So I'm glad she didn't do that.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I feel like that would have taken away from like the girl power. You know, like if she just felt like she had been saved by someone, like she saved herself.
Yeah.
You know, she actually really did.
Yeah. Because I thought Griffin was going to make it to the end, and he's the one that found her and like recognized her. So I was like, maybe there was something in the past, like they knew each other, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, for sure. It was so unexpected. Also, that can make something really horrifying when something just suddenly happens and you're like, whoa, I can't process that. Yeah. It's a horror with themes of domestic abuse. It's very different. Yeah. What does LOL mean?
Laugh out loud.
At first I was like, what does it mean? I just read the author subverted any horror cliches. Oh my God, why can I not talk? Cliches. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was horror, but it had almost like an adventure suspense vibe in the parts with the monster. Like it was very much, well, there's two monsters, but like Bigfoot or whatever it was. Definitely those scenes really felt like a movie to me.
Yeah.
And then the parts where we were more in her head felt more like a book.
Oh yeah. Especially like the flashbacks as well. Like that was like I can like visually see like when William entered her life when she was a child, and then like the scene where like the mother dies and William's taking her, and then like the rest stop. I was getting cinematic visuals from that as well.
Yeah, I love books that are atmospheric. I think they're just so nice because I say this like every other video, but I struggle with visualization. So if it's something that really can put me in an atmosphere, I usually can visualize it more. Like I can really visualize this book way more. And also it was like that with No Exit and like the dark academia ones. I think that's why I gravitate towards these like atmospheric things. And this one, just like I said before, really reads like a movie, which I really like.
Yeah.
I love when stuff reads like a movie. And usually atmospheric reads do read more like movies because that is such a visually stunning thing to put on a movie. So
exactly.
I think I put LOL in every sentence. I do it as a habit to not sound mean and sometimes to break things up without using pronunciation.
Oh,
I do it a lot too, actually. What I wanted to say about the domestic thriller is that it seems like there's no other way to start the plot but the bad marriage or the relationship. I don't know. Now I'm like trying to think of like all the domestic thrillers I've read. I think there are unique ways that you can break it up. I
Yeah.
think it's sort of like that with everything. Like there's
It's
always going to be a basic formula for a situation in any genre,
mhm.
but like you're never going to have an idea that's purely original. It just doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
And also, like, the
Um,
really popular ones tend to have those things in the plot or the main plot. So,
mhm.
but
Yeah, I agree. I kind of thought for a while I was done with domestic thrillers, but
mhm.
then I gave them a little break and now I'm coming back to them again and being like, I like the drama.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, if there's
it's
drama and like suspense and thrillers, it's perfect.
they're always my favorite reads. Like
Mhm.
looking back, I'm like, drama just works for me.
Mhm.
It's
It
so
does.
addictive. I think
Mhm.
that's the thing that's addictive to me.
It's like reality
Um,
TV, but someone's going to die or cheat.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so funny because that's literally what I watch. I just watch reality TV or horror movies. Like there's
Mhm.
no in between,
Yeah.
really. I mean, I try sometimes, but usually not. So
Mhm.
LMFAO is laughing my ass off. LOL is laugh out loud. My. So basically,
Oh.
no good deed kind of does it. Oh, no bad deed. What
Oh,
is that one? Let me see if
yeah.
I know this
I
one.
feel like I've read that one.
It's they all have similar titles for sure. Let me see.
Oh,
No
yeah.
bad deed
I think I read it,
book.
but like I don't remember it. I think it's got like a
Hmm.
car in the rain.
Yeah, it. I think. Hold on. I don't want to see the PDF. Yeah, it does. Good memory.
Oh,
I'll have to
I knew
check
I
it
had.
out. Yeah. Um, that looks like an atmospheric read as well.
Mhm.
Thanks about the explanation, Heather Chavez. Yeah, yeah. Um, yes, it does at the beginning. So it's probably
Nice.
representing that. What else? I really liked, well, not liked, but I enjoyed reading how scary like it was with the victims being hung by their own intestines. That was
Yeah,
disturbing.
it was kind of giving me like I know this is weird, but like kind of like Blair Witch vibes to it.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know why, like just like figurines or like bodies being hung in the woods, definitely Blair Witch.
Yes, I agree. I haven't seen that movie in so long, but you're
Mhm.
right. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm trying to think of more things to talk about with it. I just liked it a lot, and I
Yeah.
thought in a way it's a very basic plot. It's
Mhm.
like they're on this mountain, they're stuck here. She's been in an abusive relationship and she was kidnapped and they're escaping. So there's
Mhm.
not a ton of like ambiguity. Like it's kind of all laid out for you.
Mhm.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I will
Mhm.
say it did drag a little bit in certain parts for me.
Mhm.
But overall I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
there
also
were oh go ahead.
oh, I was also gonna say it also gave me like the village vibes because I thought this was like set like way back and it's like bam, modern
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, no, in my notes from the beginning, I was like, what time period is this?
Yeah.
I was confused.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I need to rewatch The Village. I
I love
enjoyed
that
that
one.
one. It's good.
Mhm.
Do you know Donato Carisi? I'm not good at pronouncing Italian
Mhm.
names. He's an Italian thriller author. He's really good. No, I do
Yep.
not,
I'll have to look 'em
but I'll
up.
have to check him out. Yeah, they were like the Ritual and Blair Witch folk horror vibes.
Mhm.
Yes, I will say if you want more of that, Stolen Tongues has a lot of that in it.
I need
Have
to
you
read
read
that.
that?
No, it's on my I'm waiting for it to come in from my library.
Okay. Yeah, I was waiting for this one for so long and it just didn't.
Mhm.
Libby is not great for me. I don't know what it is, but it like my holds never come in after a couple months and because people always talk about getting stuff on Libby. Is that what you
Mhm.
use for the
Most of
library
the
app
time,
or?
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm in an online book club on Facebook, and there's a few girls. I think we have like over 10 to 15 library cards, and we just share our
That's
numbers.
so nice. Oh my
So,
gosh.
and like I've got like Miami, Texas, I think Brooklyn, Chicago, and then my small little town. So we can
Right.
because I think you can check out up to, I think certain libraries you can check out to like 10 books from
Mhm.
the library, and there's no way we
Yeah.
need that many. So
That's amazing.
mhm.
Wow, okay, that makes more sense than if it's, like, multiple different libraries you're
Yeah.
using. I probably could somehow make another library account, but
Mhm.
I don't know the technicalities of that, but, um, yeah, I'm trying to think what else to say about this book. I don't know, it's so funny. I'm like, I really liked it.
Mhm. I read someone else's review and they said it's like, what, I actually printed it out. That it's a simple story and it's very straightforward. There's no,
Mhm.
I don't want to say like twists and turns. It's very straightforward, very actiony.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
doesn't
agree.
with
And
it being like, oh, it was a dream.
oh my gosh, thank goodness. And I think that's a big thing in horror versus thriller too,
Mhm.
because I just read Rock Paper Scissors and like the whole book
Mhm.
was almost just like waiting for the twist, you know, because you know it's
Mhm.
coming and you've heard, like you hear people saying, "Oh, the twist will really get you, like you'll never see the twist
Mhm.
coming." Whereas this one it was very much just like story focused
Mhm.
um and less twisty.
Yeah.
And so I
That might
liked
be,
that.
yeah, that might be why No Exit is, I think, is better because it is very actiony, but there are so many
Mhm.
plot twists in it. So
The plot twist and No Exit towards the beginning is so good,
yeah, it's
where you're
it's
like,
whiplash.
"Oh my gosh." It's yeah, it's so good. I'm gonna be putting out a video recommending winter thrillers soon. I just wanted to
Ooh.
read a couple more of them because
Mhm.
I was waiting to finish this one and Rock, Paper, Scissors. Maybe I'll sneak another one in there, we'll see.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm totally in the winter swing. What was the
Yeah,
name of the book club book that you read? The Christmas one? What was it
the book
for
club.
your book club
Oh, Dying
in
for
December?
Christmas.
Dying for Christmas. I
Mhm.
was it really good?
Uh,
Oh, no, I thought did Gwen really like it? Or
we were actually on the same page. First
oh,
half's
okay.
really good. The second half's not that great.
Okay, I think I saw on her story that she was really enjoying it, but it must have been just, like, in the
Yeah.
first half.
Mhm.
Bummer. Okay, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, should I read it, or do you think it's not worth it?
Um, without giving it away, I feel like I've
Right.
read the
Yeah.
story a lot. Like it's a
Uh-huh.
very popular trope and it's not very
Uh-huh.
Christmassy. So,
Oh, bummer.
yeah.
You would hope
So, I
that
mean,
that kind of thing
yeah, I
would
mean, you
be,
can
like,
literally
very
read it in
Christmassy.
the winter and it would still have the same effect.
Right. Interesting. Hmm.
Mhm.
Do you have, like, a favorite snowy setting book? Like, would this be one of them besides
Uh,
No Exit?
yeah, I would definitely say this is up there on my favorite snowy settings,
Mhm.
but No Exit always takes the cake for that one.
Yeah, same. It's, like, unbeatable in my opinion.
Mhm.
It really
But
is. I need to
I
reread
loved,
that
like,
one.
the cave and the wilderness of it, so it
Mhm.
is different, but I did really enjoy the setting of this one.
Yeah, it felt very isolated, which I enjoyed,
Mhm.
and I'm glad that it all took place on the mountain. Like, I think maybe it would have taken away from it if there had been, like, a scene at the end where she's going into town
Mhm.
or something like that. Like, I'm glad it just all completely took place, and
Yeah.
that it was only in the flashbacks where you saw, like, the real world or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
let's see. Um, that's super smart,
Mhm.
because not all libraries carry a certain title. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you ever read Kara Hunter? She's a
Haven't.
police thriller. I do not really read police thrillers at all.
I don't either.
Um,
I don't know why.
they don't appeal to me as much. I will
Yeah.
say I'm the same way with detective thrillers as well, but there's a
Mhm.
British author named S.J. Bolton, I want to say, and
Okay.
she wrote a book called Lost. It's part of a series. I
Mhm.
accidentally read that one. Well, actually, my mom accidentally read that one first. It's the third book in the series, but she
Mhm.
just like saw it like years ago, and it was in the serendipity section, so she just picked it up. And she read it, and it worked as a standalone novel, and she told me I had to read it. And for a long time, I was like, I don't know, like it's the third one in a series, but then I decided to pick it up, and it was really good.
I'll have to check
And
that
nobody talks about it on BookTube because it's very like lesser known. I feel like most people don't really talk about like not crime. What am I trying to say? Like investigator books. Like they're just less popular, or detective books. What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The British name for it is Like This Forever. So it has two different, but I'm probably going to read the first book in that series really soon. And I'll let you know if it would be better to just start at the beginning. I mean, ultimately it probably is.
What's the other title?
I don't remember the other title, but it's the Lacey Flint series. That's the detective's name, Lacey Flint. I think there's like 4 or 5 books in it. Did you find it?
Yeah. Like This Forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like This Forever. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon. And I think it's listed as lost on Amazon, but maybe you could find it at a bookstore. Or a library if you don't want to pay for it. She's British. There's a series about the detective Adam Foley. That is like a very British thing to do, like do a detective series. I feel like I don't see American authors doing that as much. Just the first one is available here in Brazil. I kind of wish there had been greater significance to the monster, like if it had been more tied into the Mother Nature motherhood. Yeah. For me, I didn't really need that explanation behind it. But I could see that point.
Yeah. I don't think I needed it either, but I mean, that's good thought.
Yeah. I was excited to see The Maid on Book of the Month. Yes. I'm excited. Ordered it for next month's Lights Out Book Club. I'm really excited. Oh, thanks. I mean, it's not just because of me. It was on Book of the Month, but
well, I got it because I was like, oh, that's your book club pick. So
yeah, it's perfect. I hope that a lot of people read it because it is on Book of the Month. Yeah, and then Gabby is going to be on, and then I'm going to be on her book troop book club. We don't have dates for either of them so far, but I'm guessing that it'll be like towards the end.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but The Maid is a new release, so I want to make sure that Book of the Month is not getting it. Let me see when it's getting released. I'll Google it really quick. Sorry.
You're fine.
You hear that echoing? Hold
on. Oh.
You don't hear it. I'm sorry. My thing just kicked me out. What is going on? This has happened before where it like glitches. It's just echoing. Well, you don't hear the echoing, right?
No, I don't hear any echoing.
Okay. If you don't hear...
Hello. Okay. Oh no. I just hear myself echoing.
Oh. I don't hear it.
Trying to... Let me see really quick. I don't know what's going on. This is super weird.
It says The Maid comes out January 4th.
Thank you. Okay. I may have to end it early since I hear myself echoing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Let me see. Can you hear me?
No, I can't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.